When your husband of 12 years tells you over coffee that he wants a divorce and hands you a business card for his lawyer, you don't scream. You freeze dot, and when you meet that lawyer and realize this whole thing wasn't spontaneous, but planned for months behind your back, you don't cry. You plan dot, my name is Jenna Cole. I was 38 when this happened. I thought I had a solid marriage, a predictable life, and a good man beside me. I was wrong about all three. What started as a shocking betrayal turned into the best lesson of my life. Because when someone tries to write you out of your own story, the best revenge is picking up the pen yourself. And I didn't just rewrite the ending. I rewrote his. Asterisk, when your husband of 12 years tells you over coffee that he wants a divorce and hands you a business card for his lawyer, you don't scream. You freeze dot, and when you meet that lawyer and realize this whole thing wasn't spontaneous, but planned for months behind your back, you don't cry. You planned dot, my name is Jenna Cole. I was 38 when this happened. I thought I had a solid marriage, a predictable life, and a good man beside me. I was wrong about all three dot. It started on a Saturday morning, the sun barely up. Greg sat across from me at our kitchen table, holding his coffee like it was armor. I want a divorce, he said. Just like that, no motion, no build-up. He slid a sleek white card across the table. I recognized the name, Daniel Briggs. High-end divorce attorney, ruthless reputation. Greg didn't just wake up and decide this. He prepared dot. My mouth went dry. Why? He shrugged. We're not working. Haven't been for a while. I think it's best if we end things like adults. As if I hadn't given him 12 years, supported his startup, missed promotions for him, buried 2 miscarriages, and still made dinner. Is there someone else? Another shrug. Does it matter? I took the card and nodded. I'll call him Monday. I didn't call Monday. I went to the gym. I got my nails done. I deep cleaned the pantry. I let him think I was falling apart. Then Friday morning, I walked into Daniel Briggs' office in a navy blue suit and heels that meant business. Daniel was sleek, smug, and already had the paperwork ready. Greg said you want to make this easy, did he? I smiled. I signed nothing. I took nothing. I thanked Daniel and left. That night, I opened a new bank account. Then I went into our shared one and moved exactly half. I knew Greg would see it. I wanted him to. That was step 1. Asterisk, I didn't cry. Not when the papers hit the table. Not when his lawyer called me, ma'am, like I was just another legal hiccup in Brad's perfect little narrative. Not even when I signed the documents. But that night after the call, I sat on my bed now, I guess, and stared at the spot where Brad used to leave his wristwatch. The indentation in the wood was still there, like it missed him. Brad and I had been together for almost 9 years, married for 6. I thought we were solid. Not perfect, but not fragile. He was always busy, but I figured that was just life. Everyone's tired. Everyone's juggling. But it wasn't until that week that I realized just how far apart we'd drifted, or maybe how far he'd run dot. It started with a receipt. I was clearing out the kitchen drawer, the one that collects pens and loose batteries and expired coupons, when I found it. A receipt from a high-end Italian restaurant across town, dated 2 months ago, for 2 entrees, 2 glasses of wine, and a dessert. Brad had told me he was in Dallas that weekend. Thought it could have been a client dinner. It could have been anything. But the handwritten note on the back? That's what did it. Can't wait for our next weekend. Not a name, just an initial. Like a mystery novel. My stomach dropped, but my hands were steady. That scared me the most. I wasn't panicking. I wasn't spiraling. I was just cold. Focused, like something in me had finally snapped into place. I didn't call him. I didn't scream. I didn't demand answers. I logged into our shared cell phone account, Months of calls to a Lauren W. Work number, mostly. Some late night. A few in the morning. Texts too, hundreds. I created a spreadsheet. Time, duration, frequency. I cross-referenced them with Brad's calendar invites. And you know what? It all fit: the off-site meetings, the client dinners, the networking trips. He wasn't even clever about it. Lauren was real. A consultant for a firm we'd worked with years ago. I remembered her vaguely blonde, tall, too many bracelets. She flirted with Brad at the holiday party, but I thought she was just one of those people who flirted with everyone wrong. So I did what any rational woman would do. I made an appointment with his lawyer not to renegotiate, not to argue. To learn. I showed up in a beige blazer and a smile. Said I wanted clarification on the asset split. While we chatted, I pretended to fumble through my bag. My phone already recording peaked out just enough to catch audio. His lawyer was too smug to notice. He spilled more than he should have. Turns out Brad had already moved funds, a lot of them, into a private account under a dummy LLC. The divorce filing? Just a way to cut me loose before the audit came through. That's when it clicked. This wasn't about love. It never was. It was about liability. Brad was covering his tracks. And I was supposed to roll over and make it easy. So I didn't. I went home, poured a glass of wine, and opened a new folder on my desktop. Operation Final Draft. Because Brad always said life was about shaping your own story. He just never expected me to become the author. Wasn't sleeping much by that point. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw Derek's face during his breakdown. The red eyes, the sweat beading at his temple, the way he kicked his office chair like a tantrum-throwing toddler. It was satisfying. But it wasn't enough. And then came the mysterious message. You're not the only one watching. We remember what Derek did Lily. Lily, my throat still clenched when I thought about her. We weren't close, not really. But she'd been sweet, brilliant, one of the most precise fact-checkers I'd ever worked with. I remembered the rumors about why she left: mental breakdown, paranoia. But something never sat right. I started digging. No social media presence. No forwarding address. No mention of her in the company's employee portal, like she never existed. But I knew where she used to live. So I took a train. Her apartment was abandoned, empty, but someone had taped a manila envelope to the inside of her mailbox. My name was scrawled on the front in block letters. Inside, USB drive. No note. Back home, I plugged it into a burner laptop. Password protected folder. Red room. The password? LEY. Once inside, I found raw footage. Unedited clips. Not just from exposes, but from off-air moments. Things no one should have been recording. Private conversations in dressing rooms. Secret meetings with whistleblowers. People talking freely because they thought the cameras were off. And there was Derek on camera, laughing, saying things that could end his career 10 times over. I don't give a damn if it's real. We make them think it's real. Fear sells. Truth is optional. I had everything I needed. Now I needed an audience. So I resurrected an old idea. The cut room behind the curtain exposed about media manipulation. I packaged the footage into a tight 7-minute short film. Just enough to start a storm. Then I leaked it, not from my account. Not from the Finsta. I submitted it anonymously to a rising independent news YouTube channel known for calling out corruption. It dropped on a Tuesday. By Wednesday morning, it had over 2 million views. By lunch, Derek's name was trending for all the wrong reasons. Eastline released a statement. We are conducting an internal investigation. By Thursday, he was on indefinite leave. And by Friday, I got another message. That was step 1. Ready for step 2? It was from the same ghost account. I replied. Who are you? Their answer. Someone Lily trusted. Someone who knows what Eastline really is. They sent a file. It was a spreadsheet. Thousands of entries. Names, dates. Payouts. A secret fund Eastline. Used to pay off whistleblowers. Victims. Lawsuits. Derek's name was all over it, but so was Avery's, and a few others. I never expected. This wasn't just about Derek anymore. It was about the system. The whole damn machine. And it was rotting from the inside. To be continued. I thought I'd feel powerful when it all burned down. Instead, I just felt still. Everything moved around me. Headlines, firings, statements, rumors, but inside I was motionless. Like the eye of a storm I'd summoned. Eastline media was unraveling. Avery had vanished from socials. Derek's name wasn't on the morning lineup anymore. I watched quietly from my apartment in Long Island City, coffee in hand, Gus curled up next to me like I hadn't just set fire to a legacy, I helped build. But the Lily message stayed with me. I kept thinking about her. What had she seen? The more I remembered, the more I realized Derek's cruelty wasn't random. It was curated. He didn't just destroy careers, he archived them. And when people got too close to whatever was underneath the polished surface, they disappeared. So I did something reckless. I logged into Eastline's deepest archive vault, the part even I wasn't supposed to have access to. It required multi-factor. Good thing the old IT guy, Marty, owed me for not reporting his fantasy football habit. I tunneled through years of buried data, and there she was, Lily Moreno. Her last project was something called Project Flatline, a documentary about corruption in local police departments. She'd been researching the death of a teenage boy in upstate New York. No press, no public record. But a cop named Jensen was in every one of her interview notes. That name hit something in my brain like a tuning fork. Then I found it in email. From Derek to legal, Lily's notes are unsubstantiated. Kill the segment. Her contract ends next cycle. 2 days later, she was gone. Not just fired. Gone. The whisper I kept hearing in anonymous emails. The weird Twitter mentions, the messages on the underscore cut down room, they all made sense now. There was a silent coalition forming. People Derek had stepped on. Ghosts of Eastline, I wasn't the only one who wanted justice, but I was the only one close enough to cut cleanly. I requested a meeting, not anonymously, not through a fake account, but in person. I walked into Eastline's lobby in a tailored navy blazer, hair tied back, thumb drive in my pocket like a weapon. Security didn't blink. Derek did. His office was half-packed. He looked smaller than I remembered. Pale like his. Armor had rusted. Harper, he said like he was greeting a ghost. You know why I'm here? He nodded. I won't fight you, he said. Just tell me what you want. I paused. Because this was the moment, right? Where I could expose him, drop the thumb drive on the table, burn what was left of his reputation, and salt the ground. But then I remembered what I learned in therapy. Sometimes forgiveness is the cruelest punishment of all. I want you to confess, I said. Not because I made you, because you know it's over. He blinked. He didn't say no. You destroyed people, Derek. You manipulated, gaslit, blacklisted, and you never even looked back. He sat down slowly. What if I say yes? What if I give you names? Notes? Help take Eastline down with me. I don't need that, I said. I just needed to know I could end you, and now I do. I placed the thumb drive on the table. Here's the insurance. All the secrets you buried. I'm not publishing it. Not yet. But if anything happens to me, it goes live. His face twisted into something almost like fear. I stood up. I forgive you, Derek, and I hope it eats you alive. That was 3 months ago. Eastline is a different beast now. New execs. New ethics policy. And a sudden interest in transparency. As for me, I started a new show. Not on TV, on YouTube. The cut room became more than a finsta. It's a place where media stories get unpacked. Where the invisible hands get named. We did an episode on Project FLATL I need. And at the end, I told Lily's story. Her sister reached out afterward. Sighed, she cried. Through the whole thing, sometimes revenge isn't fire. Sometimes it's sunlight, the kind that makes rot impossible to hide. And when I look in the mirror now, I don't see a woman who was thrown away. I see a woman who rewrote the script. Fade to black.